There's a very interesting story about a foreman that worked here and being pushed into the furnace. I'll have to look it up and tell you about it because, yes, this is known as one of the most haunted places in America.
In 1903, a new foreman arrived at Sloss. His name was James Robert Wormwood, but he soon became known to his workers as Slag. Wormwood was given the graveyard shift, that period between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m., where a skeleton crew of 150 men toiled to keep the furnaces fed. To impress the owners, Wormwood forced his men to speed up production, making them take dangerous risks. And during his reign, 47 workers lost their lives, 10 times more than any other shift in the history of Sloss. Countless others lost their ability to work due to accidents and mishaps. An explosion recorded in 1905 in the small blowing engine house left 6 workers blind and 2 others burned within inches of their lives. Was it the intense heat and dark night that made working at Sloss so dangerous? Or was it Slag's sadistic streak?
Well, the legend goes that there was a pick worker. These were the fellas that used to pick the ore out of the rock, and he had forgotten his glove. And you sure didn't want to pick out that stuff with your hands. Most of it was sharp as knife. Well, old Slag comes along and tells him he better work without those gloves, and if there was one less piece of ore than usual, he would be fired without pay. What's the guy to do? He went to work. Imagine sticking your hands into piles of razor blades for 8 hours. And you can only imagine what this fella's hands looked like. Well, old Slag comes around, looks at the fella's hands, and they were filled with blood, and fires him, saying he was worthless.
On October 16, 1907, James Slag Wormwood lost his footing above the highest blast furnace known as Big Alice and plummeted into a pool of molten iron ore. His body was incinerated instantly. The reports say that Wormwood became dizzy because of methane gas created by the furnace and lost his balance. But Slag had never been on top of the furnace in all his years at Sloss. Many people think his workers, finally tired of his constant slave driving, had decided to feed him to Big Alice. But no workers were ever brought to trial.
Furnace number 1. And if I remember, this is where his body was found. Or should I say never found? My God, look at this thing. Could you imagine just the heat would feel like just standing right here?